We've got a little CL 350 here that we've had up in the stand for a few weeks, one way or another. I've done a lot to it since we spoke last, and I think you'll agree it looks absolutely fantastic from where it started out. I've tried to save as much of it as I possibly can, but I've changed some bits, that needed changing, like the shocks, for example. But it's made a gorgeous little bike. We'll have a walk round it in a minute, and I'll show you everything that we've done. But in the meantime, the observant amongst you will notice that there's no saddle on this bike. Now the saddle isn't actually in great condition itself, but the rivets that go around it, the chrome's gone on them all. Who would have thought that after only 50 years, you just can't get the quality these days, can you? So I've got some lovely rivets that I've bought from my friends down in Old School Covers in Burnham-on-Sea. I don't normally promote anyone's products, but this is just such nice stuff. I'll show you what they're selling, and you can have a look for yourself and make your own mind up. So let's have a look at the saddle, and we'll pop these rivets in now, and I'll show you what's what. Right guys, you can see I've got the seat off here, and I've got the old rivets out, and as you can see, they're quite badly corroded. They just look quite sad when they're on the seat, and it's such a shame when the seat itself is in such great condition. There's one or two that you might have saved. You can maybe clean the rust off that one, but really, by the time you've changed one, you might as well change them all. And the fixings for the seat buckles, but they look absolutely horrible, don't they? So similarly there, they're just all in a crap state. So we'll change these, and I'll show you the little rivets I've got from the guys down at Burnham-on-Sea, and I'll show you how to pop them in, and they come like this. If you buy a seat cover off them, you'll get these supplied, but they really are sweet looking little things. And there's one there, and there's its little friend, like that. Can you see that? I'm sure you can. I'll turn it the right way so you can see it. And that simply pops in there, and it's kind of crimped there, and the male part here secures itself into the female bit, and I'll show you how to do it right now. Dead easy. So just make sure that you've actually got a clean hole right through, and pop the outer part into the aperture. Why do you try to do this when you're trying to show it? There we are, you just have it click in there, and that bit will pop in there, and I'll just get a little squeeze there. Just give it a gentle squeeze with something round on this side, just to stop you put a nasty kink on there outside of the button. And it really is that easy, it looks super, doesn't it? So I'll pop the others in. The female bit there. Oops, for the male bit. I've used these before several times, and they really do look nice on the bike. I know it's a tiny thing, but things that people's eyes are drawn to are exactly this sort of thing when they're coming to buy a bike. They want to see all these things looking pretty. And you saw how long that took. And don't they look sweet? I took the advantage of doing the other side earlier. So they look great, don't they? So what I'm going to do now, the strap, this one here that sits there, it's a bit hard, and a little bit kind of a, you know, the stitches kind of gone over the top. It's actually not that bad. The buckles are pretty good, but the securing bolts, these fellas, were in such a shocking state that I've got some new ones here. So I'm going to pop those in. I'm going to make a new strap up now because I have a length of strap here that if you buy a cover, yeah, they'll supply you this as well. I didn't actually supply this cover. This is the original cover. I'll show you one in a minute. That's in fact, I'll show it. So I'll just cut this to length now and make a strap up, and let's pop that on. I've got the old strap here and the length of new strapping. I'll just use this as a template, cut this to length, and then we can match the buckles up on it. I say this is not an exact science, anyone can do that. I could try to use one of these new ones here that have supplied me with it, but I'll try the next one with that. This little fella here kind of screws together like that. There's two separate parts to this as well. So let's just see how that looks once it's in. I'll try that. Sorry guys, sorry boys. As Master's voice called when I was just finishing the seat there, but I dashed out and I've finished it properly now. And you can see there, got all the new rivets in, got the new strap made, buckles on, and with that new little fastener there, which is quite pretty. And there we are, it looks great. I'm going to pop it on the bike now, and then we're going to have a walk around the bike and I'll show you everything that we've done. And then maybe we'll go for a ride. Watch this space. Hi guys, here we are with this super original little CL350 we've been working on for the past couple of weeks. So it's made a great bike, and I think the condition of it and the way the engine sounds reflects the fact that it is actually a 7,600 mile bike. It's absolutely great. I've not ridden it yet, but I bet when I ride it it's going to be great. So let's have a walk around it and we'll see what we've done. Okay, let's start from the business end. If you remember, the wheels were in a terrible state, so we had those relaced onto a nice rim, and the rims the hubs polished up from being absolutely horrible. To be really quite nice. The fork legs were likewise a bit tarnished and had some striation marks where somebody started to go up polishing, and they've come really nicely as well. The front fender, there's a tiny mark on it there, which I'm kind of inclined to leave it because it's nice. Likewise, I polished up the other side and that's all come out really beautifully in the fork leg. New front brake cable, I've got a guide for it which I'll pop in. New front brake cable, I've painted up the headlight shell and the instrument cluster, and we have new indicator stocks and lovely old indicator heads that I had here, which I've just polished up and put on, and they've come up really nicely. I hope you'll agree, they look lovely. The tank and panels, from having looked really terrible before, really came up well. That's not the best badge in the world, but they're hard to find and I haven't got a spare one just now. You can see the mileage there. Everything works, even the indicator, even the little neutral light. It's all perfect. I've got one of these on order. That's a bit sad looking, it just lets it down. Just painted up these fellas and the stand. You can see some drops under there, I'll show you what that is in a moment. Painted up the swing arm, new shocks,
once again, old indicator heads that I had. Painted up the bracket here, polished up the hub, and new tyres of course, and polished up that clutch cover, and also there's new clutch springs in there. The drops you see in the ground are this chap leaking. There's a little rubber kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, a directional grommet in there that directs the fuel either to being off or to reserve or on, and they dry out over time if the bike's not run, and often when you put them back together they get damp with petrol and they swell up and they'll seal again. This one isn't doing, so I've got some ordered from our suppliers. New carb tops, want to replace the old ones. The carbs have been sonically cleaned, and new needle valves, and I'm going to put some mirrors on it as well. But it's absolutely gorgeous little bike. It's dead pretty. So, does it run? Of course it runs. Let's crank it up for you. I did mention the seat covers that I get from the guys, and I told you I'd point you one out, and this is it. Absolutely lovely. Really looks great on the bike. Lovely, lovely quality stuff. Old school covers. Find them on eBay. I expect a check in the post, guys. Cheers. Let's take it for a wee ride. See how it goes. I've not ridden this yet, and I know it's going to bite me in the arse one day. But I don't think it's going to do with this one. New badges on this side. I did have a badge for that. And as you saw me yesterday, new buttons on the seats that really freshen it up. And I think it's a gorgeous little thing. I really, really like it. So let's go for a scoot.
guys, that is absolutely brilliant. It runs really sweetly. It's got those new tyres on, they track really, really well indeed. The brake, the gear change is a little bit sticky, so I'll need to have a look at that and just make sure that I get that moving a little bit more freely. But that aside, it's absolutely brilliant. You'll have noticed I didn't use any indicators there. That's because there's no flasher unit on it, and I'll get a flasher unit and pop it on tomorrow. But that aside, it's absolutely fantastic, and testimony as ever to the fantastic quality of Honda's build in the 70s. There's just nothing like it. So a great win, so I'm really pleased, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll all talk soon. Bye now.